Felicitous greetings, fellow fanatics. Welcome back one and all, I'm Fanatic, and today we're taking a look at Miniature Adventures, a JRPG-inspired dice manipulation title by Lowtek Games. Without any further ado, let's dive in. In Miniature Adventures, 1 to 4 heroes will take up arms to save the land of Delria from the dreaded Goblin King. Not that Goblin King. To set up, each player should choose a hero and take the matching initiative token. You may choose to take either 1 or 2 classes. Some heroes might be able to better use certain classes, but you can mix and match them in any way you see fit. Keep in mind that unless playing solo, you do not start out with any of the abilities from your class. These must be earned through leveling up. Each player will also need 3 dice of a single color. Take the 4 location decks and shuffle each individually. For the Goblin Troubles set, this will include the Misty Forest, the Mountain Path, the Goblin Fortress, and finally, the Goblin Throne. You do not have to shuffle a creature deck. I recommend keeping them in alphabetical order so it's easier to pick out specific enemies when you need them. Put all other tokens in easy reach of all players. These are double-sided, but you'll want to keep them relatively separated so they're easy to find. Each player will now roll for adventure for the first time. This means you'll take all 3 of your dice, then assign each to one of 3 values: initiative points, power points, and action points. We'll get to the details of these in a little bit, but as a rule of thumb, action points are generally the most important. Finally, if you're playing with only a single hero, that hero will immediately gain 1 level. And with that, you're ready to begin. To win in Miniature Adventures, you must survive all 4 location decks and the trials they throw at you, eventually deposing the Goblin Royals in a pair of boss fights. But before that, you have to actually reach the Goblin Fortress. Start by revealing the top card of the current location, which at the onset of the game will always be the Misty Forest. There are 4 types of encounters you can come across. Perils represent dangers other than enemies that you may encounter. In the case of this crumbling bridge, each player must spend 2 initiative points, or, if they can't or don't have enough, they must take 5 damage. This can potentially KO you, which I'll explain once we get to combat. The second type of card you can encounter are items. In the case of Lucky Stash, each player may spend 1 power point to regain 2 HP. If you're out of power points or already at max HP, then this one won't help you. Thirdly, you might come across a rest card. These give a free boost to all players. In the case of Refreshing Stream, each player gains 1 HP, 1 action point, and is cleansed. This means they'll remove all conditions from their character such as wounds or poison. The final and most common type of card you'll encounter are creatures, which your party will have to defeat in order to survive. When you reveal a creature card, search the creature deck for the appropriate enemies. In the case of Scouting Party, we'll need a Goblin Scout for any number of players. If there's 2 or more players, we'll also add a giant wood spider to the mix. And if there's a full party of 4 players, then you'll also have to deal with the guard troll. For this example, we're using a party of 2, so they'll have to deal with both the scout and the spider, but don't have to worry about the troll. Make sure all player initiative tokens are face up and put out 1 for each creature as well. Creatures and heroes will act in initiative order, the highest number going first. In case of ties, creatures always beat tied heroes, tied creatures listed higher on the encounter card will act earlier, and tied heroes may choose who goes first. In our example here, Goblin Scout has 6 initiative, which means it will go first no matter what. It begins by attacking the hero with the highest initiative, which at the moment is Kellen. The Scout has an attack of 3, so Kellen will take damage tokens to match. Then, the Scout wounds the hero with the highest HP, which is now Aurelia since she still has her max of 14. A wounded hero takes 1 extra damage on all attacks until the wound is cleansed. If you would take a status token that you already have, instead just take 1 damage. We'll flip the Scout's initiative token to show that it's acted this round. With 5 initiative, Kellen goes next. On your turn, you may either spend action points or give up your turn to roll for adventure. If you decide to roll for adventure, you do nothing else, but you'll take all 3 of your dice, roll them, and assign them once more. If any of your adventure dice are depleted, then you must roll for adventure. After rolling for adventure and assigning your dice, your turn is over and you'll flip your initiative token. If instead you decide to take actions, you'll consult your character card and may repeat actions as long as you have remaining action points. All heroes can spend 1 action point to make a standard attack, though not all heroes have innate attack values. Kellen can attack monsters for 1 point of damage at the onset of the game, but he has other options that are unique to him. He can spend 1 action point and 2 power points to give all heroes 1 initiative point. This includes himself, but keep in mind that a die may never go above 6 and any excess is wasted. He can also spend an action point and an initiative point to make 2 attacks, allowing him to deal damage quite rapidly. And finally, he can spend 1 action point and 2 power points to heal himself by 1 HP. he decides to start off by spending 1 action point and an initiative point in order to attack the spider twice. Then he repeats this for a total of 4 damage. With the spider down, they can focus their efforts on the scout. With 1 action point left, he can't finish the goblin off, but decides to go ahead and hit it twice as well. He flips his initiative token and play then passes to Aurelia. Aurelia starts her turn by spending an action point and a power point to cleanse her wound before it can become a threat. Then, she uses her remaining action points to simply wail on the scout 3 times. It's not the most efficient use of AP, but it ends the battle. The 2 of them took out their foes with minimal injuries, but they'll be going into the next battle with no action points, which means they'll both have to spend the first round of the next encounter rolling for adventure. If you manage to take out the last creature, then players will continue to play out the rest of the current round. This means that heroes that haven't acted yet might either roll for adventure or use healing skills and the like to help ready themselves for the next battle. If at any point you reach 0 HP, your character is knocked out. You'll take a knockout token to show this and immediately discard all conditions. On your next turn, you'll regain full HP, but must roll for adventure. However, if any hero is knocked out 3 times, then they succumb to their injuries and die. If all heroes die, then you've lost the game. If a player loses their hero and the others manage to survive until the end of the current encounter deck, then you'll be able to choose a new one, though bear in mind that the new character will come in without any class levels. Whenever you clear all cards in a location, your heroes will be able to level up. This means you can learn 1 skill from either of your chosen class cards. In our example here, Aurelia decides to double down on healing by taking a level in Tree of Life. The first level allows her to heal all heroes a little at the start of each of her turns, even if she decides to roll for adventure. Kellen, on the other hand, takes a level in Devout Protector, which gives all heroes 1 armor. This means that all heroes will take 1 less damage from attacks, but be aware that it won't protect against other forms of damage, such as poison and burn conditions. A couple last minute notes about battle. Sometimes you'll see this octagon symbol. If you take an action with it, then you must end your turn after resolving it, so make sure you do everything else you want first. Other times, you'll see creatures with this skull symbol. This means to multiply the value by the number of heroes. So the Forest Troll will only have 5 HP in a solo game, but will have 20 in a 4-player adventure. It also regenerates 1 HP per player at the start of each of its turns. If you manage to get through all 4 encounter decks and are still breathing, then you've won. The Kingdom of Del Raya is saved. You may notice that the adventure card mentions that you get another hero point to level up with. So what's the point in this? For now, it does nothing. But the game is intended to be able to connect multiple sets into an ongoing campaign. Component-wise, there's not too much to talk about. Cards are of decent thickness with a smooth finish, and have art that harkens back to the 16-bit era of gaming. Heroes and monsters definitely feel like they're inspired by the golden age of Final Fantasy. The backs of location cards look particularly nice with full card art of each area. Dice are pretty standard D6s, although a bit smaller than most. Tokens are decently thick and come pre-punched. If I do have one complaint though, it definitely has to be the rulebook. While it tells you most of what you need to know, it is formatted awkwardly, and I was constantly flipping back and forth between multiple pages, and skipping over sections that have nothing to do with combat in order to understand how battles worked. All in all, Miniature Adventures is just what the title promises it will be, a small game that captures the feel of classic console RPGs. This isn't some grand dungeon crawl like Descent or the like, but it isn't trying to be. It's a light, relatively quick game that you can enjoy in less than an hour, and it does an admirable job of what it sets out to do. It's a fun little budget title with a fair variety of different characters to play as, though I did feel some classes are stronger than others. Regardless, it brought a fair dose of nostalgia, was enjoyable to play, and has great art as well. I hope to see the campaign mode come to fruition in the future. In conclusion, I find Miniature Adventures to be worthy of a solid 7.6 out of 10. If you're interested in purchasing Miniature Adventures, my first suggestion, as always, is to check with your friendly local game store to see if they can get it in stock. If you're unable to find it, or simply wish to learn more, links are included in the description. But what about you? What do you think of Miniature Adventures? What tabletop games with pixel art do you enjoy? If you have any questions, remarks, or posting points of view, leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. If you really enjoy my work, please consider funding my channel on Patreon. Until next time, farewell, fellow fanatics. Thank you again for watching. I have plenty more to share with you if you're interested. You can click up here above my head to subscribe to my channel. You can click over here on my monitor to see the most recent video that I've worked on. Or if you prefer, you can click up here to open this mysterious vault and see what video that the YouTube algorithm has picked just for you.